This is my Bitcoin price prediction for the end of this bull run. Guys, welcome to Empire Trading Academy. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like, and let's get right into this. All right, guys. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what I believe is going to be around the price of the end of this cycle. Okay. First and foremost, I believe that we're 100% still in this bull run. Okay. I believe that the midway through this cycle, this has been heavily manipulated from the top of this market here. And we had what was basically what I would say is like a reset to go ahead and reset this market. Okay. Now, my end of year price target, sorry, not end of year, but the end of this bull run, my end of cycle price prediction is going to be saved to the end. But what I can tell you is starting from here, we've had this Wyckoff distribution top, okay? With this latest sell-off, we go ahead and we complete that distribution, okay? If we're looking at our Elliott Wave pattern, we're following it perfectly, okay? You guys know I've been bullish this entire time, saying that most likely we were going to retest the $50,000 level before we had a pullback, okay? And we just stopped just shy of that, just shy of 49,000 before we came back down, okay? Even though we're bullish, we know that there's going to be short-term corrections, and that's exactly what we had, all right? So we're in this corrective phase right now, okay? If we're looking at Elliott Wave, I believe we're in this 2 count right here. Now, depending on what this price action does right here, we're either going to find support at 40,000 or 37,500. Okay, it's going to be one of those two. We have this long-term support line right here at 40,000. Okay, big support. Big support here, but it was a big resistance that multiple times we used that, both in the accumulation phase as well as this first test of this first run up, right? Early on in January. All right, now we're getting our corrective phase. Okay, our corrective wave is again 40,000 or 37,500. And if we look at this 37,500, this makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, if you look at this distribution top, right, we had this corrective markdown coming down here, right, and we tested this level right at about 30,000. Okay, now if you look, this first climax that we had here, and then the retest, this retest after the first climax, okay, comes to this point. All right, now if you look here, right, then we have our three peaks, where we have our last point of supply before we sell off. Here, first climax, sell off, 1, 2, 3 peaks, and then our last point of supply before we sell off. Same exact distribution top. Okay, so where did we come down here? We came down here at the support of this pullback of this first climax. Okay, and so this looks like a very reasonable spot to go ahead and take that as well. Okay, on this would be akin to here. This first selling climax, the retest here at 37,500 roughly. Okay, and that's what I'm going to be looking for, just right in this area. Okay, that's going to be ultimately our bottom, guys. Okay, in my opinion, that is our bottom. There are waves that can take us into a bear market potentially, but I do not believe that we are going there. And to keep this relatively short for you guys, this is our corrective move. This is our last point of getting in my opinion. And then we go ahead and take off. All right. Like you've heard me say in our on-chain data, guys, it's very much pre-bull market metrics. Okay. And this is what we're looking at, right? We have that last corrective phase before we go ahead and start moving again. And so we get this phase going on, right? We have, I'm looking at a potential retest of the top. Okay. We're going to have a sell-off from that 64,000, right? Potentially people that have bought in at that level and then sold off. right? Or excuse me, and then have held, right? And so they're going to go ahead, and once we come back up here, they're just going to get rid of this is going to dump. You're going to have a bunch of shorts up here. They're going to dump here, okay? And we'll retest this high, and then we go ahead and we start our final wave up, okay, guys? Now, my price prediction for this is going to be around $120,000, okay? That's taken into account a blow off top, all right? And we're going to get into a $120,000 Bitcoin, all right? That is my potential target for that, okay? Now, this, along with whales have been accumulating, right? They've been accumulating this entire time, okay? Now, if we go ahead and go to on-chain, our exchanges, guys, continuing to come off of exchanges. If we're looking at Binance specifically, Binance has flattened out a little bit. Some have been going on to exchanges, but overall, it's definitely negative coming off of exchanges, okay? So again, these levels that we're looking at, right? Even if we go 3 years, right? We've talked about how we're almost at a 4-year low. If coins are not on exchanges, they cannot be selling long term into a bear market. These are levels that are very indicative of a pre-bull run, right? And like I've said, we've reset. Okay, so okay, 2 others that I do want to show. We're going to go over to SOPR. All right, this is spend output profit ratio. Okay, how much basically the coins that are being sold, are they being sold in profit or are they being sold at a loss? Okay, this line right here, anytime we're above this line, okay, this is basically 1. Okay, this is 1. If we are above this 1 line, okay, coins are being sold at profit. If we're underneath, coins are being sold at a loss. All right, and you can see in these big sell-offs, right, in these big sell-offs, that's when coins are being sold at a loss. All right. This would be more indicative of a bear market. Okay. Something that I want to, when they're being sold in profit, we are not in a bear market, guys. Something that I want to point out also. This spike, okay, being sold right on the way up, they're in profit. And then we come and retrace back to the 1. We retrace back to basically our checkpoint, okay? And then we kind of consolidate and flatten out a little bit, okay? This is ramping up before we get big moves upward, okay? We can look at it right here, okay? We come up, this is price action down here. We come up out of this little valley here, and we have a nice little run up here, and then that runoff, and then we have a consolidation, and then we have a little pump, okay? And then what do we have here? We have a peak, just like we have here, peak. We come down, okay, like we already are. This came under selling at a loss, right? And that's why this was a relatively big sell-off here. And then we kind of flatten out just above 1, okay? So SOPR is just above 1. Coins are overall in profit, being sold at profit, okay? But when we're consolidating down here, just like when we're consolidating here, and then we go ahead and we take off in this bull run, okay? And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Last thing we're going to look at on chain is our stock to flow, guys. Okay, if we're going to look, we'll go 5 years out for this one. This is where we're at right now. This was last year, okay? The colors coincide with the days until halving, okay? And you can see that once we're in, we'll say really dark green, starting to get faded out, that is when we've topped, and it's been relatively, been pretty much similar all the way, okay? So same thing, gets into darker, faded out green, that's when we hit top. Now we are not there yet, right? We're not yet there yet. So I'm gonna zoom back in. That's not going to show it. Okay, so when we zoom back in, where we're at right here, guys, is going to be about right here. Okay, and that's before we took off and hit our final peak. Okay, in my opinion, that's exactly where we are here. Again, we've had somewhat of a reset because of the manipulation that has happened. The institutions, in my opinion, have reset things to get in cheaper. Okay. And then this thing is going to take off. They've been accumulating here. If they've been accumulating here, they're going to want to see more upside, and they're going to want to take advantage of a crypto, a Bitcoin, right? And so, in my opinion, we still have a little ways to go in order to finish off this top. Okay, so again, I do not believe we're in a bear market. I never have. All this short-term selling off is perfect. It's in line, exactly what we've been thinking, guys. And again, roughly $120,000 Bitcoin by the end of this run. And that is what we have for you guys. All right. If you haven't already, leave some comments if you have questions. All right. Thoughts. Hit the subscribe if you haven't subscribed to our channel, guys. We'll keep you up to date on all the latest. And hit that like. See you in the next video.